Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Today we are doing another chatty based review on another show I've seen. This time, whoops, we have a Pride and Prejudice sort of, which is currently doing its UK tour up and down the country. So in case you want to know my thoughts, or if perchance you would like to stay with me a while and hear what I have to say, then please stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So, hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Claire. This is Open Roads and Theatre Seats, where we discuss both theatre and travel. Mostly theatre because I don't get to travel as much as I'd like to, but that is a story for a different day. Today we are going to talk about one of my favourite stories in the world, Pride and Prejudice, but made in a completely different way. So, where should we start with this show? Firstly, like I said, I am a massive fan of Jane Austen as a whole. I love watching the TV versions. I have spent so much time and money watching various different video and like streaming of different portrayals of each story. My favourite is probably Pride and Prejudice, mainly because the whole Darcy situation. You know Darcy, he is one of those people you love to hate, and love to hate to love, I don't know. But basically, yeah, I am a true Austen fan. Never actually read the books, that's a story for a different day. So when I heard that this show was coming on a UK tour after spending time in London last year and winning the Olivier for Best Comedy, I knew that I needed to get myself a ticket to come and see the show. I feel like the only real reason that I didn't go and see it when it was in London is it's because it took over the Criterion after one of my beloved shows closed, Emily, and my brain was like, well, you can't go and see that because then you'll feel sad that it's not Emily you're seeing. I know, crazy brain. It's the brain I've got. What am I going to do about it? But now I've seen Pride and Prejudice sort of, I currently am kicking myself that I didn't see it previously because it is absolutely brilliant. So let's first start with a couple of creative mentions. Firstly, to the writer and director by the name of Isabel MacArthur, who has brought a story that everyone knows and loves straight bang up to the present day with the most wittiest of writing. Obviously the plot of the show goes alongside the plot of the story, apart from the initial beginning bit where our 5 actors, all of which are female, start the show as cleaners and servants in a Regency house who are trying to prepare the house for their masters and set the scene that way before turning themselves into the multitude of different characters from the beloved story of Pride and Prejudice, excuse me, in the most ingenious of ways. And by that I mean the costumes that come onto that stage, which are just brilliant, and I will get into in a second. Finishing off on the writing side though, I just really enjoyed how that story was took in a slightly different direction. Obviously, like I said, I feel like I'm going in circles. The story is the same as the book and all the different versions you have previously seen. However, the language used is a little bit more fruity, it's a little bit more spicy, it's a little bit more up to date. There's a few swear words. At one time Darcy's called a 4-letter word that begins with T and isn't very pleasant. I'm not going to say it on YouTube because I like to be, you know, as polite as possible, but when it was said, I did guffaw in my seat to the point my mom literally looked at me and was like, what the heck? And I couldn't stop because I was not expecting it. But the way the writing has just been done is so brilliant. It's like the perfect up-to-date homage with songs. Who doesn't love a song? And each individual song in the show has a purpose and is also just brilliant. They are all songs from a variety of different artists. So just to name a few in the show, there is You're So Vain by Carly Simon, there is Will You Still Love Me by the Shirelles, there is At Last, there is Holding Up for a Hero, there's even a bit of the Mums and the Poppers, which my mama really enjoyed, and each song is performed on stage live by the actors with a handful of instruments, but also I believe with a bit of a backing song to it. And yeah, I just truly enjoyed the way it was done, and yeah, I loved it. Going quickly back to costume, because I just meant to mention the designer of this show. The designer who created both set and costume, I believe, is Ana Inez Habarez Peter, and hopefully I've pronounced that name correctly. If I haven't, I truly apologise. The whole idea of the set was absolutely genius. It pretty much stayed stationary apart from a few props that come on and off, including Mr. Bennett, which was a genius prop, may I just say. But also sofas come on at some points, chaise longues on there for a while. Everything's kind of simple but brilliantly used. There is a lot of use of books for standing or sitting on. I just really enjoyed looking at that set, and the fact it had 2 layers as well. So there was an upstairs and a downstairs, and that set of stairs was also iconic because it had places to hide and move set from. I just enjoyed the ingeniousness of it. And speaking of ingenious, the costumes, like I think I mentioned, the show starts with the actors in their smock dresses and boots and rubber gloves, and those smock dresses then become the basis for all their other costume parts for when they take on the different roles. For example, when one of the actors is playing Darcy, she is wearing a Darcy style coat over the top of the smock dress. When somebody is playing the role of Elizabeth Bennet, she has a dress that goes over the top of her smock dress, so you can't really see the smock dress because obviously the smock dress is kind of lower standard and lower class, and this dress is supposed to be more Regency appreciated and Regency fashion. But yeah, it was absolutely brilliant and I truly loved it, and it was so cleverly done in that quite a lot of the costumes are took on and off stage, or on and off on stage, that's what I should have said, and then the more tricky ones, or when a cast member needs to come off the stage and then come on as someone else, obviously their costume changes, but the time they have to change into those costumes is very, very minimal, and it's so cleverly done, so clever. And that is like true props to the creative team, especially the designer. So I have mentioned the cast in a way, but let's get into them properly now. So as I said, the cast of the show is a 5 strong with 2 understudies. So the 5 that I had were as followed: Lucy Gray, Danny Harris, Leah Jameson, Emmy Stonelake and Megan Louise Wilson. If I can briefly stick with you for a couple of minutes and just talk about how amazing each individual one was, I hope you don't mind. I don't truly know where to start though, because each of them had like an iconic moment or 5. So we could be here for a while. Let's just go in the order that they are named on the website. So Lucy Gray. Lucy Gray took on a multitude of roles, as did everyone else. To name just a few that Lucy performed as, she is, I believe the maid character she was in the Bennett house was Flo. It was something with F. It probably wasn't, and I truly apologise if it wasn't, because my memory is not what it used to be. She also takes on the role of Charlotte Lucas, which is a genius role because of the way that her relationship alongside Elizabeth Bennet is taken. I was 100% there for that bit. She was also a narrator for parts. She was also Miss Bingley, who is a vile human being, and Lucy played her absolutely amazingly. But she was also Mr. Bingley, who is, how can we describe Charles Bingley? He is a puppy, and he has that puppy energy, and the way that Lucy ran at the end of the show, I'm not spoiling a plot point because everyone should know the show of, like, the story of Pride and Prejudice, but the way that Lucy ran down the stairs to be reunited with his love, excellent. In fact, I think at some point when when Lucy was running down the stairs as Charles Bingley, somebody on the stage said something like, "You're back," and Lucy turned around and said, "Why, what's on my back?" and talked to the audience member behind her and was like, "Is there something on my back?" Those little moments are just absolutely genius, and I don't know if they're ad-libbed or if it's part of this. It just, everything about the show is just brilliant, and Lucy performing her variety of roles was just absolutely excellent too. I'm just gonna gush. Danny Harris, another amazing role, character collection. So let's see if I can remember all of her parts. She is the amazing Mrs. Bennet, who was on a par, and this is high praise, on a par to Alison Steadman's Mrs. Bennet from the TV portrayal of Pride and Prejudice, starring the one and only Colin Firth. Yes, I am a true fan. Danny's other main role in the show is the one, the only Mr. Darcy, and Danny just played it absolutely brilliantly, from the grumpiness at the beginning to the realisation of his true love at the end. Just phenomenal from start to finish in every role she took on, like everyone else. It was just amazing. Can you tell I truly love this show and really want it to return to the West End? Just saying. Sticking still with the cast, we have next got Leah Jameson. Now Leah is the hidden gem, shall we call it, of the show, because she isn't on stage as much as some of the other roles. She plays, amongst others, she is Lydia Bennett, who, I'm gonna say it because I can, I am an Austen fan, but Lydia as a character is just a bit silly, a little bit stupid. I mean, she is young, but still. And the way that Leah portrayed her was absolutely genius and hilarious and excellent. Leah also takes on the role of Mr. Collins, and oh my god, I feel like Leah's portrayal as Mr. Collins has ruined Mr. Collins forever and ever. Just the way that she controlled her voice and the way that she spoke as Mr. Collins, it just made you want to throw a crust of pie or something at him. It was just truly unlikable, and it was just genius. She was like, Leah was very much a chameleon of the show, because the roles she has to take on are so different from each other, and she definitely gets her time to shine at the end when she comes out to sing the final song from a cupboard, because why not? I just thought she was amazing there. Truly truly extraordinary. We've still got 2 more to go. I'm sorry, but we have to give everyone their praises. We just do. Amy Stonelake played pretty much exclusively the titular character of Lizzie Bennet, Elizabeth Bennet, however you want to talk about her. But the thing that I truly loved about her portrayal was the very strong Welsh accent that Amy has, or gave, to this role. I'm unsure, but I just truly loved that for once Elizabeth Bennet was not this no, she was like from the valleys, from Wales. Oh, just glorious voice, and I just loved it. And her singing voice as well was top notch. I truly enjoyed. And finally, the 5th member of this incredible cast, we had Megan Louise Wilson, who has, again, like the most amazing chameleon-like quality to her, because her 2 main roles were Jane Bennet, who is the eldest sister, who had an almost sweet quality to her, and then Megan's other main role was Lady Catherine de Bourgh, who was genius. The use of Lady in Red singing about Lady Catherine was just absolutely hilarious. As you can tell, I am truly 100% in love with the cast in this show. Each one of them, how they did it was just insane. I was in awe for the entire show. Like I said, it was over a 2-hour show, and at no time was I like, when is this going to end? I was like, please don't let this end. I just wanted to keep watching this show. At the end of the show, after the bows, they bring out a small, not so small, like poster style sheet, and it says, if you enjoyed this show, tell someone. If you haven't, shh, keep it quiet. And I think that's what I'm doing. I'm telling you all about it. It is absolutely phenomenal. If you have ever once watched Pride and Prejudice, or if you haven't and you want to go see a show that is truly hilarious, truly genius, truly just absolutely excellent with a fantastic cast, go and check this show out. It hasn't got much longer on its tour. I believe it's got 5 more venues, and after that hopefully it's going back into the West End. I feel like they were threatening to bring it back, and I do hope that is the case because it is absolutely brilliant and it's just genius. I can truly see why it won an award last year at the Olivier's, because it is just absolutely excellent. It is amazing, it's unmissable, and it's just bloody fantastic. There you go. I'm going to leave this video here, and I will say only this. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please, please, please go and check out this show, and yeah, I love you all lots. So with that, thank you very much, and I shall hopefully see you in my next video. Cheerio, farewell, pip pip, toodaloo, bye.